because they're not able to accept that what is their problem. So they think it in a different way, but they behave in a different way. They think of themselves to be different from what they actually are. Sometimes they don't even know that what their values are. Sometimes they know that this is how they want to behave, but they are not able to implement that particular way of behaving. So for that, we have to confront them. How to confront in such a way that the session becomes both didactic and didactic. That is what we will try and learn through the practice which we are going to do today. So we are already set?
Yes, ma'am.
For the first case, as I said that I want to become a counselor. I will not take much time. I want you people to participate more than I want to speak today, but still I will take up this case. So I will be a client enacting that case of psychosomatization. Okay. So who chooses to become the counselor? Everybody has to play one or the other role today. Give me a minute. I have written 2 excerpts because RS had given a homework that what is the difference between the degree of the content presentation and the feeling presentation. I don't know where have I kept. I have written. Anyways, I'll manage. So who will be the counselor for me, please? For the first demonstration, I think those who are already in practice, let them be the counselors. So let one of you choose, please. See, dear friends, before we start practicing, one more thing, let me say. There is nothing right. There is nothing wrong, ever. Never, ever. Because, you know, it's only about the perception. I am wearing this light green color and Leher says, oh God, what is this ma'am is wearing at this age? Look at her. She doesn't even know how to color her hair. All right. It's not my choice. That's Leher's choice. So there's nothing right. There's nothing wrong. Every counselor is a technique, which is the message I want to give. Every counselor is a technique. It is not CBT. It is not a behavior therapy. What I have learned during the 22 years of my counseling experience is that what you like to do and the way you like to do and the way you are confident that you will do. But yes, the skills have to be there, but how to present. So nothing to worry. Whatever we say, whatever we do, just doesn't matter. With that confidence, please come. One thing. Second thing, the more the mistakes we will make, the more the critical approach we will have today, including you are critical towards what I am saying, including that, please. Even if I'm not able to answer you for whatever question you raised today, I will study hard and come back with that. I assure you. Okay. So let us have that kind of an attitude, genuine practice and a critical attitude. Now I think some of you will definitely opt for it. So who is becoming my counselor, please?
Be quick, otherwise the chance will go away.
Everybody has to do something or the other. Everyone has to do it today. Leher, you will take a note of it, please, in the end. Ki kaun reh gaya? Who has
Yes,
not yet
I'll
taken
do that.
the role?
I'll do that.
Yes, thank you. So who is becoming my counselor? Please, let's be quick. I don't want to lose time today.
Since nobody's volunteering, I will take a go.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm learning. And I'm learning. So
even I'm learning. Even I'm learning. No problem. Even I'm learning. Good luck to me and you. So I am a patient of you remember everything last time which we did. We talked about sharing of the shared analysis. We also talked about how I assured. Particularly, I am taking the same example so that we are a bit familiar with what assurance I have to give, how I have to comfort my client, and how I have to do the shared analysis. To revise, the problem is that I am a woman, 44 years in age, with gray hair, absolutely no problem. But I can't eat anything. That's the only background which you have, and you will start and I will also talk about.
And your reports are all normal.
Yes, that I will be telling you in the session.
Oh.
You know
should
it,
I-
but yet you will be, that is, you have to decide how the session goes on.
Should I pin the both of you on the screen spotlight?
That will be good if we can.
Gargi, you on the spotlight. Wow.
Yes, both of you are on spotlight.
Great.
Thank you.
So let's assume that I have come, you have made me sit.
Right. Should we start? Good evening, Miss Batra. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you.
You're doing
How are
very
you?
well. Would you be more comfortable with me calling you Promila or Miss Batra?
Promila. Prabha.
What a wonderful name.
Yeah.
What does your name mean?
Thank you. It means light, illumination.
Wonderful.
So sunlight in the morning is called Prabha.
I think the name is very becoming of you. Your smile is, akin to the sunlight, and
I'm not supposed to smile. This is the first mistake which I am making.
it's all right. Sometimes people, we believe in faking till we make it. So coming.
Yes. Yes.
So, what brings you here to me today, Prabha?
I can't eat anything. I'm so upset. I just can't eat anything. Nothing.
What do you feel about when you look at food?
I want to eat, but I cannot eat. I'm so upset. Just too upset. I vomit. So I feel very bad.
Do you get hungry?
I'm
Do you get hungry?
I do. But not even 2 bites. And then I get so irritated. I feel so angry. I feel so frustrated. I vomit.
I hear you.
I shall either vomit or I feel nauseated. So I sleep. Don't do anything. So I don't even give food to my children. I feel very bad. Very frustrated. They go hungry. You can imagine how I feel.
And for how long has this been going on?
4 years. 4 years.
Sorry to hear that. And for 4 years, you have been feeling hungry, but you cannot even eat 2 bites. You feel nausea and you want to sleep. You get angry after you get these feelings. A lot of times you cannot even give food to your children and they go hungry. And this has been going on for 4 years.
In the beginning, yes, but in the beginning, it started with acidity only. Not that I would vomit, but for last 1 year, I would just vomit. And earlier it was manageable. Now it's really very painful. I want you to stop here because the purpose of my becoming client is to demonstrate something. So I just want that you again repeat, not from the beginning, maybe, but what brings you here. From there you begin. Now I want to present the problem in a different way.
Okay, right. Prabha, what brings you here to me today?
I just can't eat anything, and I vomit. I start feeling nauseated, and I'm not able to do anything. Sometimes my children would even go to the school hungry because I just cannot cook. I really feel guilty, but I can't eat anything. Not even 2 bites I can eat, ma'am. Not even 2 bites. Now, to stop here, I have a question, and that's all the role I am playing. Now somebody else will play. you will choose. My question is, what is the difference? Very obvious difference was there in what I said earlier and what I have said in the next answer.
Earlier, you did mention that you would get angry. You used the word angry, upset. You were more verbal about your feelings. The second part was more concise, precise, and it was not so much about yourself, but you were, you were highlighting about your children and, that they go to school hungry. I can't even cook.
Yes. So you see, it is a reflection on my personality in both of the cases. Last time, when I ended the session, I said that this is a summarization in which only feeling-oriented summarization has been done. Then RS had given a question and I said, I'll give you 2 excerpts. I have enacted those excerpts. The second one is content-oriented. Why I have to observe it in my client? Only because then I have to choose that what method I will be using. To explain it further, recently in one of the last of the thesis which my students have worked upon, we had to compare CBT with EFT. EFT is emotion-focused therapy. So the first task which I gave to my client was that in your first 2 sessions, you will take a very keen observation and keen note of the client is content-oriented or the client is emotion-oriented. If the client is content-oriented, you use CBT type of the therapies. Otherwise, you will train your client on managing his or her emotion. I hope I'm able to reach you. So
Yes,
thank you
ma'am.
very much. My role is over. Now how the session goes, that is on your shoulders. I am free. I will only take notes and comment when there is something wrong which goes, but I will prefer that before somebody else becomes a client for the same problem, please, some of you may ask anything or comment on whatever skills were presented here by my counselor.
In the session that just happened?
Yes.
Or starting from now?
No.
I think Gargi really well summarized in the first part the kind of content and feelings that were brought up. She used the words angry, frustrated, and I think it was an overall good summary. And it was also a good rapport building right in the beginning where she complimented your smile, talked about your name, and it just made it feel like it was like a very warm and comforting start.
Yes. So we should clap for her.
Yeah.
Virtual clapping for her, please.
Thank you.
What was lacking? Wonderfully. She was really good at reflection. She even used minimal encourager. Minimal encourager also she used.
Yes.
She has been seeking clarification while probing. Her question was, is it happening for 4 years? So she has been seeking the clarification that shows that she is somewhere understanding that if somebody is not eating for last 4 years, it is not possible.
Yes.
Do you realize? I don't know Gargi did it knowingly or unknowingly, but that's how I think you all can strengthen your counseling skills.
So that was a probe that for 4 years you've been doing this. And next I wanted to ask you about your physiological condition. And
Yes.
then I was expecting that you would come
Yes.
up with the reports.
Yes,
Because
that
if
you will be
don't-
doing with the other client now. And this is what additional appreciation which I made. What was lacking?
Eye contact. Somehow
Okay,
I felt
that's great.
Gargi was
We were
looking
trying to maintain that RS virtually also.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I
Also,
thought
I was
Gargi
taking
was
small
writing-
notes.
That is to be done. Small notes are to be taken.
Yeah.
You didn't establish the structure, my dear. You didn't tell me what is counseling. You didn't ask me about that. In the initial session, even that is to be done. So now, whosoever is now coming as a client, or you want to change even the role of counselor?
I think so. I'll also learn some then.
Okay. Okay. You can come again as well. Let's see how many of the cases we are able to do. So now who is becoming counselor and who is becoming client? Quick. Let's really not waste our time on deciding upon. Everybody has to come.
I'll be the client.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Do we go
Charlie
ahead
is
with
the
the same
client.
course? Do we go ahead with the same,
No, somebody
client?
else will now act as a counselor. Who is becoming the counselor? Even Leher can enact or
Okay,
anybody
I-
else.
I
Okay.
can go ahead.
Yes, that's great.
Okay.
I mean, in the beginning, I want those to be the counselors who are already into the practice. Yes. So now two of you will be pinned on the screen. We will be
Yes.
watching.
Okay. So can we maybe
The client story, the background is the same in terms of the problem the client, the candidate is facing.
Same problem. You are coming with the
Okay.
same problem.
Okay.
okay. Hi Charvi, how are you?
Hi, Leher. I'm all right. How are you?
I'm fine. So would you want to tell me what brings you here?
Sure. I've had a lot of conversations in the past as well, from doctors to a couple of psychologists as well. I am not able to eat. I feel a lot of problem when it comes to maintaining my health, and I feel a lot. I think there's a lot of nausea when I consume something. Physically, I don't feel that I am able to digest the food. So that creates a lot of problem, and that has been ongoing for a couple of years now.
Okay. Okay. So just to get an understanding, do you know of counseling and what it entails?
It would be good to get an understanding from your end.
Okay. Okay. So generally, in a counseling process, usually it happens over once in a week for about 50 minutes of duration. And what we talk about is kept confidential. And in counseling also, the process is to empower you, the client, and also feedback in case you feel that, we'll be trying out a couple of techniques. And in case you feel that something's not working for you or you want to modify something or change something, please feel free to bring it to the table. And I think that would just really help the process because it is a collaborative thing that we're doing together. So just wanted to say that before we step into anything else. Do you have any specific questions for me about counseling?
Sure. I understand what you mentioned. I appreciate the confidentiality aspect as well. Since it's my first interaction with the counselor, I just want to understand how this goes. What is the process like? What can I expect from this discussion?
Okay. Thanks for that question. So how it goes usually is that, like you brought up your concern. So we work on that concern till the time we're at a stage where you now decide that, okay, now I'm feeling better. So usually it depends on the concern that you bring to the table or of how long the sessions will be. So we'll get to that in a couple of sessions. Because that I'll also take some time to understand what kind of support I would be required to provide until what time. And yeah, that's about it. Have I missed anything? Would you like me to elaborate on something else?
No, I think I'm good for now. I might ask you other questions as we go ahead with this.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yes, so yeah, so you were talking about how it's been a while and you've been facing concerns about food and how you feel nauseated and physically it's not been great. We can just pick from there.
Right. So like I said, there is a little problem in when I say little, it is not because it has been ongoing for a couple of years.
Okay.
I feel and I have difficulty in digesting food. So whatever I consume, I either feel a little discomfort in the start, and it ends up getting out of my system, in any form. It could be vomiting as well.
Okay.
And that has caused a lot of problem in my family life and also personal.
It sounds like it's been quite a distressing time for you.
It has been.
And how long would you say it's been going on for?
I think the problem with food has been for 3-4 years, but the problem with digesting and it kind of becoming something very huge that has caused a lot of problem in my personal and my family life. That has been going on for a year now.
Okay. Would it be possible for you to elaborate on what you mean by problems?
Sure. When I say, problem in my personal life, it is more to do with the fact that I don't have the energy because I'm not able to, feed myself properly, right?
Right.
So not having the energy, I am not able to fulfill my duties at home. I am not able to pack lunches, uh, make food for family. I'm sorry, I am not able to understand. Can I just add? I'm so sorry if I can pause here.
Okay.
Can I now add? This is a question to Professor. Can I now add different like details to it, like in terms of the family, in terms of having what kind of a life? Because that was not mentioned in the last. Okay,
Yes.
sure. Okay. I'm not able to resuming back. Like I said, I don't have the energy because I'm not able to eat food that leads me to not having any strength to pack food for my children. Otherwise, cook meals in time. Most of the time, I am so tired that I spend most of the time sleeping or lying down. Because when I stand up and like try to do some work, I feel a little dizzy. So a lot of physical activities are being missed. Sitting with my children, having conversations with them is also some days I'm able to do that. Sometimes I'm not. So that of course gives me a lot of guilt because I'm not being able to like be present for them in certain situations and fulfill my duties.
Right. So what I've understood so far is that you mentioned that because you've not been able to eat a lot of food, it has had repercussions like not being able to get up too much, not being able to do a lot of daily chores that it seems like you want to be able to do. And like you mentioned about your kids, like packing food for them or cooking or spending time with them even. And you said that made you feel guilty.
Correct. I the guilt factor is quite huge because this is not how I anticipated my life to be, and not being able to be present for certain situations uh, that leads to a lot of guilt. And otherwise, also I feel a lot of stress because this has been going on for such a long time. I wanted to end and to be able to have a normal life, to be able to eat, to be able to have energy to do things and lead a normal life. And I feel that uh, my inability to, digest food and have that, problem with the food. I think that is giving a lot of, stress mentally.
You did sound a little upset while you were talking about this. Are you okay? Are you feeling all right?
Yeah.
Okay, just wanted to check in. Okay.
Can you please pause? I'm sorry. I think
Okay.
there were a lot of details I'm trying to get into in the character, but I don't think I can.
It came out so natural and so good. Really.
Now I'm
Get it.
Going on good. Going on good.
Any comments from anyone so far?
We'll comment in the end.
Okay.
Okay.
So now I wish that within next 10 minutes, we are able to complete the session, because we
Okay.
won't be able to take complete 40 minutes for every
Right.
session. And the other roles which I in the beginning had reminded you of, which we have done in this case. So try and play those, please. Or we can do this also, that now onwards somebody else can begin, so that everybody can practice, you know. So maybe the client can be the same, and someone who has never practiced can now come here. So for shifting, before shifting, I want the participants to please ask the questions and comment on it, that what have we learned in this session. All other participants who were the observers, please, what have we learned from this session? What our counselor did right, what our counselor did wrong?
I think counselor was quite compassionate and
Yes.
drew the framework very well.
Yes. I also happen to agree with you. But still, you know, I am here to pinpoint today. The more I will pinpoint today, the more my students today will be able to learn, my friends will be able to learn, and even me also. Even I'm a learner through these roles. So I want the student participant friends to please comment on this. The skills which we discussed about. Okay, I ask the question. That's how we begin. Was Leher able to reflect nicely and accurately? Shakti is nodding her head.
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah. Great. She was compassionate. That has already been said by Sareen Sahab. What else?
She was empathetic to the client, and client was able to express her views
Yes.
to the stage that she wants. Like she was crying at the end, and yes, she was able to express herself. So that
Yes.
was a very good part of the counselor.
Yes, that was the best part. She had no fears, no anxieties, even Gargi didn't have. So that's why I wanted to begin with those who are already into the practice, so that otherwise, you know, the time is less. It's a whole day workshop, which we have to do in only 2 hours. So we will plan it like this, that we are able to gain the most of the skills here. Okay, in this, I am commenting myself, but in the next, silence will be practiced by me to make you uncomfortable, and the session will not go on. So you please prepare yourself. We'll practice silence as a skill also. Okay, but in this, what I want to tell you, what Leher had missed while establishing the structure was about the time which is to be taken in the sessions. For how long we meet, and we have to tell in the very first session that the session is going to last. She said ki we will be having maybe one session a week, but duration of the session we didn't talk about. The client also didn't ask about it, but the client did ask another thing which was missed by our counselor, that what is the expected role of our client. She didn't mention about the homeworks. She will have to actively participate, and but she very nicely chose the words to express that this is a joint responsibility. That was the most beautiful thing in her establishing structured practice, which she did. Confidentiality also needs to be elaborated a little more than this, so that a good trust and faith develops. It was to be stressed a little more, but it was, yes, touched upon. Another thing which I want to say about the client's role, our client Charvi had already asked, so she clarified it very nicely, no doubt. The other beauty which none has yet spoken is, she was a little specific when she answered how long the problem is for how long the problem you have. It was a closed-ended question, but it was answered nicely. So it acted well. But she was very specific about the problem. See, what do I mean by being general and by being specific? Somebody comes and tells me my husband doesn't love me. This is a very general statement. So she framed the question in such a way that she tried to pinpoint that what is it that leads you to guilt, to understand that. So she tried from general to becoming specific. If a lady says my husband doesn't love me, love means what? I have to ask her that what are your expectations which your husband is not able to meet? Maybe in the end, I find absolutely nothing. And then I confront the lady. And maybe I find that there are so many things. So like we did in the last sessions, the questions have to be goal-oriented as well in the first session. Till now, no goal-oriented question has come. This was another weakness. So with this background, in the next practice, we will try to overcome this also. Goal-oriented questions will be asked now so that we reach the actual problem, right? For which we have to do the shared analysis and develop the working goals. This is what is our goal to learn. See, it is exactly the same way we run the sessions, the way we run the initial session. So even if we are able to do a good initial session, trust me that you really know that how to pursue the counseling. It's only this that the same skills are to be used with a more intense degree. That is the only difference in all those. So the other difference is that initially we are more content oriented and later on we become feeling oriented in our questions. In the end, we use very good questions in which we talk about the interventions. So that is the only difference which comes, and challenging also comes later. Okay. So with this background, now who is the new person who is going to opt to become a counselor now? We'll have the same client or we can have a different client, but continuing the same problem ahead. Please raise your hand who is coming now. And thank you, Charvi and Leher, we didn't clap for you. It was beautiful. One by one, we are moving ahead. Please, please. It's already 7:13. After another 12 minutes, it will be 1 full hour. Who is coming, please? Anjali is there. Shanalini is there. Rachna is our participant or Rachna is ma'am? I don't know.
Hello,
Then we have, I'm sorry, Rachna ma'am. So, okay, I'm sorry. Rachna ma'am, you may please tell me wherever I make a mistake, because I know that you are really doing so good.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
I'm Dr. Anjali. Actually, I'm having very high fever and my throat is very
I see.
painful.
So you can't participate
Oh.
today. All right, no problem.
It's
So Shanalini is there. Chandani is there.
Hi, ma'am. Okay, I think I'll go next. But before I go, I think I'd like to make it clear that this is going to be my first practice session also, because I've never I studied psychology in my graduation, but never really took it forward though. So I'm not too sure how it's going to go, but I'll definitely try my best.
Sure. Everybody has to do it. And I said the more mistakes which we make, the better we will learn.
Right. Okay. So, hi, Charvi. Should we start? I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Sorry. I thought we were changing both the client and the.
It's okay. We don't
Okay,
have many
sure.
people, so you can continue as a client, and after some time, maybe some of others can do it.
Sure. Yeah.
Hi, Charvi. Good evening.
Now we'll continue from where we left, right? So
Yes.
from the,
Yes. We are
Yeah,
not
yeah.
doing the other things, because I would like that we practice
It will
the
be
clarifying
repetitive.
skills as well. So in the next case, I will like to take on the next part of the skills.
Sure.
So we'll continue from here.
Yeah. So I think I left off at talking about guilt, and I think that was the last question she asked. Maybe you can maybe ask another question, and I can then continue with the conversation.
Chandni.
All right. I'm so sorry. Okay. So, right, you mentioned about being guilty, and you mentioned that you're not being able to perform your daily tasks as well at home. But why do you think that you have this kind of this thing? Is there any specific incident that led to this, or how did it all start about?
I'm sorry, I actually need a little help here.
So basically, when did you start?
Sorry, I wanted to pause the enactment. I want to go back to the last session. There was no mention of how it started, right? You mentioned that there was no medical evidence like post, like, all the tests now. But there was just like a specific reason given for how it started. Or was
I
there?
think so. Pramila ma'am, would you like to help here?
Sorry, will you repeat the question?
But my question, no, sure. I was saying, I don't happen to recall if there was any root cause for this problem mentioned in the last, session when we're discussing this case study.
You didn't. You didn't mention.
Like, okay, but
you did not
like,
mention.
so it is in
But
my.
I would like to give a bit of direction here.
Yes, please.
Because I want you people to reach that level of shared analysis and developing the working goals. That's what is my goal, to make you reach, I want you to achieve that. So therefore, what you have to now start bringing in is, that is, I don't have any physiological problems. We have moved towards the psychological problems. Although, when our clients come, we don't have any control on that. And as I said, that as a counselor, I have to take a note of it, and then I have to observe and see that what my clients want. So if she's focusing on only her psychological issues, that means I have to handle that only, right? But because today I want to repeat the last case presentation here for your learning, that's why I want you to come to that level of psychosomatization and ask your questions from seeking clarification from your counselor. Okay?
Okay.
Am I? All right.
No, I understood.
Yes. So we would like to move towards that particular direction. I didn't realize my video was off. Okay.
Yeah. Resuming back, you asked me the question. Could you please repeat?
So basically, I was just trying to understand, when did you start realizing that, you're kind of, you're not feeling comfortable, or you're feeling very weak, you're nauseating whenever you're eating. When did all of this, like, when did you start noticing all of these signs?
Sure. I think, like I mentioned, it has been ongoing for a while. It has been a couple of years. So initially, I was not able to, eat properly in every meal. And post the meal, I might, I will stop before filling myself. But, midway, I would start feeling a little, discomfort. And that was, 3 years ago. And now it has come to the point where I'm unable to even have a meal.
Okay. So when you realized this started 3 years ago, did you feel like you wanted to talk to somebody about it, or did you actually go visit a doctor? Did you get any tests done?
Right. I actually have gotten a lot of tests done. I have met a lot of doctors to consult to understand the problem. I'll share my results. I am carrying them with me today. There are a few tests that I think were recommended by a couple of doctors as a repetition. All of them, came out with no specific root cause for this. You can glance through.
Did they put you on any kind of medication, like, to bring your nausea down, or, to increase your appetite? Were you on any medications, or did they put you on any particular diet, or?
Right. There have been a couple of medicines that I've been taking for a while now. That has now become like after every meal I try to have something or the other for. I used to have, now I can't even digest those pills, but I used to have certain digestive pills for being able to even eat my food or not being nauseated. I used to have like certain area drinks as well. But nothing seemed to work.
Okay. All right. So what we'll do, Charvi, is let's go through your reports first, and then kind of like as a first step, let's like eliminate if there are any physiological problems. And well, your reports are also saying that like you mentioned, that the doctors are also saying that you don't have any specific ailment as such to be worried about. Is there anything that bothers you in your mind? Is there a constant thought that is going on in your mind?
Like what we're discussing right now, there is no root cause to it in terms of the physiological aspects, but still I'm facing this problem. And that has been, ongoing in my mind for a while, because I want to have a normal life, get back to my, a life that used to be at some point. But that is bothering me more sometimes.
How about, do you work, Charvi? Do you also work?
No, I am a homemaker.
You're a homemaker. Okay. So how does apart from this, like previously, before the last 4 years, how did your life look like?
I think I was more present. I was able to give time. I was able to have meals, cook meals, had a good relationship with food. But that is not the case anymore.
I'm sorry. Can I just pause here? Well, I'm kind of like getting stuck in terms of like, how do I take, like, what is the direction that I need to give?
Yes, I understand that. I'm noticing
Next.
that. But this is what we are here to learn. This practice will make you fight your fears and anxieties, and this practice will lead you to carry constructive sessions slowly and slowly. Don't worry. Make another effort. Then we will do the role reversal, and then we'll see what else is to be done. Carry on. I'm really understanding it that you are stuck.
Because I'm actually going blank. I don't have any questions in my mind now anymore.
All right. So, so many of us are there in the faculty member also. I mean, I can see Dr. Chadha as well. So, this forum is open for suggesting whenever these people are enacting as counselor or counseling. Whatever else they also suggest besides what I am talking about, this is open for all of us. Purpose is to train you people through experiential learning. So any of my practicing counselors would like to comment that how Chandni can come out of where she's stuck and how she's stuck actually. She's not able to carry forward the session. Okay, this is clear. So she herself is also accepting it. So what should she do? Any of you, please.
I have a question.
Sure.
Sorry.
No, go on.
Will it be wrong of the counselor to ask, how did the client end up there? Was it like, a personal call? Was it a recommendation from somebody? Because we also need to understand what are they coming in, what are they seeking?
She could. Yes, she could. We can do the role reversal here. Now you become a counselor, Charvi.
Okay. I am not a practicing counselor, so I think,
Doesn't
I will
matter.
also
Doesn't matter. Even Chandni has done that, and I would like to clap for her first. Thank you so much, Chandni. Had you not done it, probably we won't really learn how to give a direction to the session. I talked about questions. I talked about leading, taking a lead. While framing the last question, I said this is the best question because this question is goal-oriented as well as this is a leading question. Some authors, they have written that leading questions should not be there in the counseling sessions because the answer is inbuilt in that. But no, some degree of lead is to be taken. Every book of counseling process is talking about various degrees of lead, which we take through silence, acceptance, persuasion, reflection, paraphrasing, using minimal encouragers, and probing. I've given you a list starting from minimum to higher degree of lead. So that is what is to be done, because it's not a non-directive session which is going on. We don't have to give the directions, but we have to lead the path. For that, the degree of lead is required. So what was lacking in Chandni's questions was that there was no any degree of lead. And also, for the first time, she said, why do you think? We try saying avoid. We avoid to say why, but not that we will never say. As I said, nothing is right, nothing is wrong. But she improved upon that immediately by saying how.
Yes.
First, she said, why do you think? Then she said, how? But it was a very long question, like I'm speaking long. But when I am in a session, as a counselor, I don't have to speak much, except when I am summarizing. Okay? So the questions don't have to be long. So with this, we now again begin. Let the same two persons just do the role reversal. That will do now? Okay. So now Chandni's client, Charvi is. So we'll begin from where you had left. Earlier, not now, earlier. That is guilt. Guilt part.
Okay.
We will reenact the whole thing.
Okay. Now I think I'll have a little bias because I have answered those questions in my mind.
It doesn't matter. It
I'm
is a
like,
practice
"Woi
session. It is a
puchna."
practice session. How does it really matter? It's good if you'll be biased. We are learning more.
Right. So Chandni, you mentioned, you feel a little guilt. Could you elaborate on it as well?
So sometimes, when my kids want my attention, I'm not able to be there. They come back home and then they talk to me about what happened in school, and I feel very, I'm already feeling low, and then I'm not able to, get into that conversation with them. I show no appreciation, or they feel, I can see that they also feel really bad that I'm not responding to them. And sometimes there have been times when my kids have also fallen sick because I'm not able to take care of their food or take care of them in particular, in general. So that's what is making me feel guilty, because I want to do it, and the point that I know that they're falling sick, or they're also not happy with me not responding to them appropriately, is what is making me feel guilty.
Right. Do you have, a family support around it? Somebody, helping you out with your, daily chores? To pay attention to, to kids, to, your daily activities?
Sorry, can I pause here? I don't think I can add details, right? Like,
Yes, you can
I
add.
have yes, I have house help, but they, when I realized that they also can do only to a certain level, they can't be able to do everything that I can do for my kids. So in terms of home and everything, yeah, I have somebody to help me with the daily chores.
Understood. Have you in the past, or currently consulted any medical attention for this particular, issue? Have you, connected with, doctors or, anyone from that field?
Yes, I did get a few tests done. I visited a couple of doctors and I got a few tests done. Here are my reports. However, they could never come up with a specific reason as to why this is happening. So they did put
Sure.
me on a few medications as well to control my nausea and to increase my appetite. But now even those medications don't seem to work anymore.
Understood. I see through the reports, and I can, I observe that there has not been a conclusive, cause for the, problem in terms of the physical aspect. But do you think those medications helped you for some time? Um, the ones which are recommended by these physicians?
Um, Initially, yes, but it still didn't pick up. I mean, it didn't work that well. Yes, initially it did kind of help me, but then it came back to the same.
Understood.
So, all right, I think we will like to stop here, and I will like to give one demonstration myself just for 5 or which I like to finish between 5 to 10. See, the biggest problem in this case is that I have given you a goal to achieve. When we are in the actual sessions, then we go by a natural process, right? So this itself, this task which I have assigned you itself is an obstruction, because you have to frame your questions and answers in a way which I have directed you towards. When we are acting in a natural way, then it is going to come out differently. So I want one of the problems to be taken by any of you, the practicing counselors, before we close the session today. Therefore, I would like to end up this session here just by enacting and reaching where we wanted to reach. So who is going to, and another comment which I want to make, how was your life going on like in the past? Then could you elaborate? These are all the distracting questions for this particular sessions, because these are for the management of the patient.
Okay.
Right now, our initial job is to show her some hope that you don't worry, something is going to happen. So that is where we are not able to reach as yet. So these things, these are the process skills, because what to do with past. Right now, I don't have to be that probing and information seeking from the client, because this is the irrelevant information which I am going. It's not, it's not taking me anywhere. It's not leading me to finish my session within the given time of 40, 50 minutes, whatever is the duration you have fixed for yourself. Okay, so let me act as a counselor. Who will be the client, please? Who will be the client? Anyone? We can change. The same person can be a client. I will try and demonstrate. I don't know if I'll be able to demonstrate what I want to demonstrate, because it is an artificial environment which we have created in the beginning. In the next will be more natural. Please, who will come as a client? Please choose.
I can try to as client.
Yes, please.
I'm sorry.
Yes, yes, yes. Who spoke? I couldn't realize. Okay, all right. So we begin from sharing of problem only, right? Not establishing structure. We have already done that enough. Okay. So you are telling me that what is your problem. So I'll begin. Okay.
Okay.
The structure is established. You have already told me my roles, my expectations from you. Everything is clear. And now as a counselor, I begin. Shneline, I call you, right?
Yes.
So Shneline, could you please elaborate what has really brought you here to me? Could you please elaborate?
Yes, it's because right now in my life, I think is not in the right place because I don't know what's happening to me. I can eat. Uh, I can concentrate in the things that previously I was able to concentrate. I I don't have the joy that previously I have, and I think all that things are affecting my personal life and my family, my husband, and I'm here because I need to change that. I need to go in the place that I was previously, and I need to feel joy, happiness, and I'm seeking for that.
Okay, as far as I understood, there is imbalance in your life, and so many things you have talked about, eating and then concentration, joy, but you want to regain that. Shannon, I would like to know that of various things you talked about, which one should we take as priority for the day? As you know, we have 50 minutes time.
Well, I think my problem with the food, because I know that affecting my health, and I think that if I prioritize that in right now, I can maybe in the other situations or scenarios in my life can improve.
Okay, that's really great. The things are so clear in your mind, Channeline, that you want to talk about the food today. I would like you to elaborate more on what problems are you having and since when you are having all these things. If you could please share.
Okay. In the past 3 years, I have more problems. I start with not the sense of cooking or have the time for doing that and enjoy it, and I lost it, and I don't know what's happening in my mind that I can eat well. I try 2 bites and that's all, and and I don't know if I have a situation in my life that's creating that, but I don't like it. I don't feel that I enjoy it, and I don't know what's happening.
I noticed that you said that when I start eating, I don't know what is happening in my mind. So, what is that kind of a link you are establishing between this eating and mind? Any kind of aversion or any impact after eating?
I'm sorry.
Yes, please.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat the last? That you said?
Yeah, I noticed that you said something is going on in my mind. I don't know when I want to eat. Am I understanding it right? You said so?
Yes, I am very anxious person, and
Okay.
I don't know. I constantly worry about things, and I first start with a stomach pain, and I go constantly to the bathroom, and I think that maybe my anxiety is bringing that problem. I don't know.
No, I see. That's how you think that anxiety is leading to these problems. Have you been to any doctor?
Yes, they perform a series of studies and laboratories, and everything in that part is right. But I don't go to another doctors to see if what is the problem.
Okay. But have you got your MRIs and endoscopy and all other tests?
Yes, yes.
Done?
And everything is all right now.
Oh, I understand. Should I think that because everything is all right, when it becomes to the physiological testing, that's why you are thinking that the anxiety might be leading to, is that the relationship you have developed?
Yes, I think because I'm very anxious person, but I don't know how to treat that, and I don't know how to feel for help in that area.
So, Shanalin, I happen to agree with you that yes, it does happen because of the anxiety. As you said, that you are constantly worrying and all, it does happen. So, but I would really like that you should consult one or two more doctors to ensure that there is nothing wrong on the physiological sides. So I would like to tell you about what is psychosomatization. Otherwise, you have developed a correct relationship. Now, I will not be talking about all that, but this is where the counselor has to speak for a relatively longer time. So skipping to that, I have told her that what is psychosomatization, that trust has developed. Now I assure her. So Shanalin, you just don't worry. That can be really done very easily, and such kind of the problems can be handled. I have done a few cases, but I'll be needing some of your cooperation too.
Okay, I will do that. I need the help.
Yes. So I would suggest you something here on the basis of my previous experiences, that one way is that we try and reschedule your diet. Do you agree to it?
Yes.
All right. That's really great of you. That's really great of you. So I will give you another schedule with which I have a lot of experience. What you have to do, instead of eating thrice a day, you will have to eat 4 times a day. We will give it a gap of 4 hours between each meal. This is actually a theory which is being used in Ayurveda and homeopathy, that we should have relatively shorter interval between the meals if we have the problems of indigestion. So let us just try on it, and we'll sit together, make a chart of what is to be eaten. But the major homework which I want to give you to practice is at a psychological level, that even if you are feeling nauseated, don't worry about that. Try and forget that you are feeling nauseated. Try and forget that it is creating a harm to you, your family, and all other worries. Remain in other worries, but try to forget that eating might cause nausea. Even if you vomit, go vomit, come and lie down. But again, eat at 12. 8, 12, 4, and 8. We will just sit down and make a chart about that. All right? Of your favorite foods, which you think you might be able to eat. Will that do, Shanalin?
Yes, I can do that.
Thank you.
I
Thank
can
you.
try
You are
that.
a very cooperative person. Thank you very much. So we will make a chart now. Am I able to read?
Okay.
The session ends. I will terminate it. Technically, that's a separate matter. But I hope I'm able to demonstrate
Okay.
that how I was able to reach the actual problem of psychosomatization, and my questions were focused. I wanted to note down my questions, but I just couldn't. I skipped it. You know. So I wish if somebody had noted the questions,
I would
we
like
could
to
comment
ask
well on that also. But I don't know. I think we are missing that now. Any comments, please, my dear student friends, particularly?
Ma'am, can I ask something?
Yes, please.
Yeah, actually,
Anjali, is that Anjali?
yes,
Okay.
ma'am, my voice is bad.
No,
I'm sorry.
it's fine. Please.
I wanted to ask if, like, Charlene was, she was a relatively easy patient.
Yes.
So, a patient who has a psychosomatic disorder might come and say, I'm tired of seeing doctors. And I have been to many doctors and nobody is able to help me. No test, no diet, no doctor. And on top of that, they're telling me that this is my problem. I have created it for myself. I don't believe them. I'm not even sure that you can help me. So, ma'am, in that case, how will
and our responses are based on what is narrated by our client. Now, the client you are talking about is saying that she's already been to the doctors, so many, but Shenaline had not said that. That is why I had to tell her that, okay, we would like to insure it. Otherwise, there would have not been any need to say that. And actually, in this particular case of mine, that lady came telling me that for last 4 years, I have been to so many doctors, naming hospitals, naming doctors. So I didn't have to say it. And if you can recall, her question was, is it possible? I asked you people that what should be her curiosity, and you people had responded in the last session, her curiosity is going to be about psychosomatic diseases. Does it really happen? So now, when I'm telling her what is psychosomatization, I should have a good knowledge about that. I should be able to talk about the mind-body connection and give her 1 or 2 very brief examples, but maybe I'm not talking for more than 5 to 10 minutes. When we have to speak like this is what we call as informational or didactic counseling as well. It is not the Socratic dialogue which I am going to use to reach my client here now. Now I will just do some information counseling. In clarifying process skills, the material which I have given to you, in that I have written that information giving sometimes resolves the problem. I will like to narrate one case in answer to your question. This was a girl. She was a student of 8th class. She came to me for systematic desensitization. She had a fear of spiders, you know. So I wanted to do something else with her, but we had to do something else with her. One of my students had brought her after doing complete assessment, the questionnaire which I had given her, she was assessed, and the fear of spiders was at 5 degree, 1 to 5 ka scale it was. Then when I was talking to her, I found that she's very intelligent. I just asked her one question, do you think that these spiders are very poisonous? She had no much answers to speak about that. Then I just told her, okay, can we, fictitious name, let me take, say Prabha. So I told her, Prabha, do you have internet? It is a long time back. At that time, internet was not very common and people were not really very fond of doing the Googling and surfing and all. I said, do you use internet? She said, yes. I said, do you have a Wi-Fi connection at home or a dongle or anything? She said, yes, ma'am, we have. So I said, all right, then can you do something? Can you do something for me? And I want that you should read about what kind of the species are really poisonous and what is it there in India and what is it we have in Rohtak. Can we have a discussion on that? Would you mind doing that? She said, yes, I'll be very happy to do that. She was a curious girl. And next time when she came, she said, ma'am, I don't need any systematic desensitization. She knew about the technique. She was well prepared because what she read was that in this area, there is nothing. Then she said, I have another problem now. I said, what is it? She said, when I was reading it, then I had an enlightenment key. I am having a lot of guilt because once my mom had told me to clean the house and I must have killed more than 100 spiders. And now I am guilty. See how the session went from where to where. So information counseling is really very helpful at times. Very helpful at times. Knowledge base, I have already talked about in my notes, which I have given to you. So this is how we will move with them.
Ma'am, so that means if the patient is just being difficult, we just have to give them more information?
Yes, sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes maybe I need to give some relaxation. My task is to ensure that this can be done. I don't guarantee, as I said last time.
Yes. Yes.
You may not be able to get rid of it, but your life will be a little more comfortable without saying this. This is what I have to say.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
That is what is the goal of initial counseling session.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Any other question before we move? So I would like that now you come with any of your own case or any fictitious case so that the session flows a little more naturally. But I purposely give my case in our first session because, you know, people are trying to reach there and then they make mistakes and then they really learn a lot. So, Leher,
I can be the client now, sure.
okay. Who will be the counselor? So I think Anjali can do that. Anjali is in practice and both of you had acted good counselors. So you are becoming the client. Not Anjali, sorry, Gargi. Is Gargi there?
I am.
So can we do this, the Leher and Gargi?
Okay. Should I be the client?
No,
Or-
she's saying Leher has opted to become the client.
Okay. So we start a session right from the start, right? This
I
is a
think
new.
we don't need, we can skip that establishing,
Okay.
structure establishing part.
Okay.
Everybody knows that what are the expectation and what are, we have already practiced one. I think that will save us some time. All right.
Hi, Leher.
Okay. Hi.
I would very much like to understand why you are here today. Would you please care to share with me your issues and challenges, whatever you wish to share? And we're going to talk about this in strict confidentiality, so please be comfortable.
Okay. I'm not sure if it's an issue as such, but lately when I get home to my home, I just feel very uncomfortable. Like I just don't feel like myself. It's been happening for a while. Like when I'm not home, it's all right. Like I'm doing my everyday things. I'm going to office and everything. But when I get home, it's just weird. Yeah.
When you say weird, do you experience any sensations, any feelings?
There's
Help
a
me understand.
overwhelming feeling of discomfort. Yeah.
Okay.
Like right now also I'm feeling anxious talking about it. So
Please take a sip of water. So, what I hear you say is that lately you've been feeling very uncomfortable. You don't feel like yourself. When you're outside the house, you go about your everyday tasks, but when you come back home, you feel weird, you feel an overwhelming feeling.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
The overwhelming feeling, do you feel tired, exhausted, or are you emotionally you feel drained? Help me understand that part a little bit.
I feel more scared than anything else, not tired. It's just like I don't want to be home. I'd rather not be.
Are you by yourself at home?
No, I have my family. I'm not by myself. I live with my family. I have my mom, my dad, my sister. We're there.
I want to say something. Good going. But I would like the counselor to change her behavior a bit more. I'm just giving a few leads to you. you are paraphrasing a little too much right now, because maybe you are stuck up. And be a little more focused. Doing good, but yet, because this is the last case we will be doing, be a little more focused to give you a hint, like she's saying, scared.
Yeah.
So instead of asking that who all are there, you could just catch this word. She has given you a big hint. I'm scared at home. Repeatedly, she's telling us that at home, at home, at home. So my dear friends, we look for the themes, if you can recall, I said. So my client is giving me a theme repeatedly. So you go on that now. I hope my dear friends, students are understanding what I mean to say. So,
Yes,
Gargi, go ahead.
Yes.
Scared? What scares you really? Ask from here, and then maybe she opens up a little more. You could also use metaphors, just to tell all my learner student participants only. You could, when she's talking about, instead of paraphrasing, when she's repeatedly talking about homes, if I had caught it, I could say, oh, so like sometimes our home starts eating us up, or any those kinds of metaphors, whatever you want to use, we could use that. That's the good time to use metaphors. Please go ahead. Thank you.
So,
go ahead.
So Leher, I hear you saying that you're scared. So does your home make you feel scared? Is there some kind of a claustrophobic feeling, or?
It's not a claustrophobic feeling, but there's just so much fighting at home. It's just, I'd rather not be. It's just someone or the other is constantly at it. Like my mom, my dad, they're at it. Like I'm so tired of it. I'm just so tired of it.
And this has been, you mentioned that lately when you get home, so these fights between mom and dad have been going on for a while, or is this just, do you think it's a temporary thing?
It's just always been there, but recently it's more than what I can handle. It's like recently there was some conversation about some financial situation, so it was like a huge deal. It seemed so irrelevant to me, like, really, you're fighting about this? But it's never been a great space, but lately it's been worse. That's why I'm here. Like it's getting too much for me to handle. Like I can't do it by myself. Yeah.
Right. So your mom, dad have always been fighting, and now the conversations are mostly about the financial situation, and you feel this is probably a trivial matter, but it is bothering you and upsetting you, and you're not able to handle this. So when you spend time outside, you feel better about it.
So much. It's like air is back in my lungs. Like I can breathe again. So I mean, yeah, you said claustrophobic, and I connect now that, home, you're right, it does feel claustrophobic. Like, if there's so much fighting, where is the space for me and my sister? I just feel like we're both sort of helping each other out of it. It's just, it's not great. It's not even about the financial situation. It's just like, I feel like anything that comes up, they just sort of, it's an issue now. So, but lately it's been because of the finances. Not that we're in a financially bad situation, but heaven knows.
So this is like disturbing your peace, and you don't seem to have the space. Thereby you are, how do you relate this to feeling scared?
I just feel like I'll get home and it'll be another fight. Like either they'll loop me in that, you tell me who is right in this conversation, or they'll just drag in my sister that, am I saying right? Am I saying right? It's just, so so both of us just sometimes slip out. Yeah.
Right. So let's accept that there are issues between your parents, and the issues are theirs, and each one of us has a life of our own. And my task here is to work with you and help you accept and empower you to be taking care of yourself, so that you are not disturbed by the issues that are going on, because this probably is something that is not in your control, but helping yourself is very much in your control. So let's make a plan of how you and me can work towards balancing your emotions for your sanity, for your peace of mind. How would that work for you? Does that sound good to you?
That does. That makes sense to me, but it's just that I know it's not in my control, but being the elder sister, it just falls on you a lot of times. Like, I can't just not care about it. It's my family, it's my parents. Like I know it's not in my control, and I'm not the reason why this is happening. Like, I can't really do anything about it. Like, I would drag them to therapy happily, but sadly in their generation this is not a thing. I mean, I'm not sure if they would accept it, but yeah, I mean, I'm open to any suggestions you have, because honestly I'm just tired of doing it on my own. So anything you're suggesting, I'm open to it.
Wonderful. I'm happy that you're putting your faith in me and you trust me and you're sharing so much with me. And I also appreciate the fact that you feel responsible for your younger sisters and that you do feel the affection for your parents. I honor you for that. One smart way of coping and dealing with this is to first take charge of it yourself. Because when you feel strong enough to take charge of it yourself, then you can help your younger sisters. So just the way you're feeling, they're probably feeling similar things as well, because the home environment is where you spend a lot of time. We actually come home to relax, to feel good. Your home is your temple. But when that temple, when there's so much unrest there, then obviously you feel this overwhelming feeling, this scared feeling, this weird feeling. These are the words that you've been telling me, and I hear you, I feel you. So, like I said, it would begin and by not feeling stressed and anxious. So to start with, I think let's focus on some stress relieving meditative techniques that will work well for you. I would love to advise you on a few techniques, which I will write down for you, and I will share some pieces of calming music as well. And I will guide you through some creative visualization as well to calm your nerves, to have your wits about yourself, so that you calm down and you can help yourself first and help your sisters as well. Let's try and calm the situation down for ourselves so that we're able to better manage things. After being out of the house the whole day, you want to come home. You should want to be able to come home and enjoy your time with your family. Would that work for you for a start? You could try it for a couple of weeks and see how it goes for you.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I didn't understand when you say like wits about me. What does that mean?
It means having your thinking, your thoughts. It means being in a little more control of yourself.
Okay.
So these feelings of feeling very overwhelmed is not overpowering you. You are in charge of your own feelings at that time, because you're better able to manage your breathing. Your breathing affects a lot of physiological things that are happening in your body. When we are scared, we have a surge of adrenaline that makes us more anxious. It doesn't help us. It gives us that overwhelming feeling. So if we practice some basic breathing techniques, intermittently during the day, if we listen to if we create a calming environment, even if it's in the room that you are, it will have a ripple effect on your sisters. Who knows? It might have a ripple effect on your parents as well. It might help to calm the situation down.
Okay, I can try. I'm open to trying.
Good. It went good. If it is an initial session, I would like my other participant friends to please comment. What do they think about it? What do they want to say about it? Okay, let me begin with what Leher says first. How did you feel about your counselor?
I think she was attentive, paying attention. And I think she was trying to be supportive and warm. I just feel like it could have been heard a little more.
Yes,
Like,
she was a good listener, but she was not a very good listener.
Ma'am, I think I was conscious about the paucity of time because I thought, let me get to, the reassurance part.
See, my commenting like this, that she was a listener, but she was a good listener, but she was not a very good listener, doesn't mean that you don't do good in your sessions too. We understand all the limits which we have here. It's just that how do we give the direction, but it was good shared analysis. Though
yes.
it could be improved further. See, the scope of improvement is always there, but still it was good and working goal was established. You made an effort. And as I said, that every counselor is a technique. There is no hard and strict rules to be followed like that, because, sometimes, as I began last time by narrating a fact that for the similar problem, rather for the same problem, I may not be able to use the same technique and method. So I have to see what I have to do depending upon how you respond to that particular method. Meditation may work for somebody, it may not work for many other people. So we have to see that. But you did well, pretty well. So I think somebody was saying something I spoke when. My participant friends, please. Okay, will anybody else like to be the counselor again? For the same case, please.
Same case?
Yes. Who is coming?
Yaricel.
Yarisel.
Yes, please come. Come, Yarisel. So you'll be the counselor now? Thank you. That's great. And
Yes,
clap for the earlier session, please. I'm thankful.
So who's going to be the client?
Leher, we'll have the same client now. We'll practice the same session thrice. You are the second person.
Yarisel, you'll have to switch on your video for me to put you on spotlight.
Okay. I'm not ready for a video, but I'm going to turn it on.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
You look good. You look like a counselor.
Yes.
We're happy with our counselor. Thank you for turning your video on.
Thank you. So who's going to be the client?
Same. Leher will be acting as a client
Okay.
on the same problem.
So, ma'am, do we continue from where we left off, or
No.
we start again?
From the beginning. From the beginning.
I don't see your name right there, and our names are not easy, so maybe I can write it down. So can you give me your name?
My name is
So I can
Leher.
call you by your name. What was that?
Leher. Leher.
Okay. Leher?
Yes.
Okay.
And you're Yarisel?
It's not easy to pronounce either. No, I know.
No, I got it.
So should I start?
Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you, Lehet, for coming here. So how can I help you?
I've been just feeling so overwhelmed lately. It's been weird. It's just been weird for the past month. It's been uncomfortable. Just so that's why I'm here, because it's been strange. For the past month, I don't feel like myself. I have a hard time relaxing. I don't feel like going home much. Yeah, that's that.
Okay. And what is happening around in your environment that makes you feel overwhelmed?
It's just at my home, it's uncomfortable. It's overwhelming. Like I'm still feeling anxious just thinking about home. I'm taking this session from my office because I don't think I'd be in the mind space to take it from home. Yeah.
Okay. And what is happening at home?
Fights.
Fights?
It's been fights. Yeah.
Between?
Fights. Everyone, but more so my mom and dad.
Okay.
Yeah. So fights.
Can you give me more details so I can understand you better?
It's just, they're just constantly at it. Like they've always sort of been at it, but recently this thing happened over finances. Like they just had to like buy a car, and then I don't even know if that was anything to fight about, like, because financially we're doing fine, but I just feel like they just skip from one topic to the other to have fights about. But recently, I don't know, something's changed. It's more than what I can handle now. Like I have a younger sister at home, and we're both just trying to comfort each other through it. It's just, yeah, it's just that.
Okay. What about your environment you feel that you have control over now? Like in this moment, what do you feel like you have control over? You feel in control of what, like around your environment, family environment?
I feel in control of a bit about myself. Like I even my sister to some extent, like at least the way I can protect her as much as possible. I pretty much feel in control of my own life. Like I'm financially independent. I don't need to stay at home. I have a stable relationship. So that's great. That's what I feel in control of. I have an amazing set of friends. That's I feel in control about that. But when it comes to my parents, I do not feel in control over there. Just I don't.
Yes, because of course you're not in control of them, but is there a way you can influence them? So, but first it's like, do you feel safe in your environment?
Physically, yes.
One thing,
Emotionally, no.
Okay.
Emotionally, I don't feel safe at home. Because it's their fight, but it spills out on the two of us. They'll just loop one of us in, like, you tell me which one of us is right, and we've, like, I've said that I don't want to be a part of this conversation. You're two grown adults, sort it out on your own. Don't involve me and Meher. Don't do that. But it just sort of yeah.
Do you feel able to talk to them, or you feel afraid to talk to them?
I'm a very opinionated person, and I know that I'm strong. So I'm not scared of talking to anyone. Like, I'm not scared of them, but it's so hard as a child seeing your parents being at it all the time. It's just, yeah.
Okay. So you live with them, or
I do live with them.
okay. How old are you? It's like in this case, how old are you?
I'm 26. I'm 26. So just to clarify, in India, kids do live with their parents till the time they're married, usually. And if it's a guy, then they continue to live together with the wife, just like a cultural context.
Okay, yeah, that's important. Because I'm just like, okay, you have a relationship and you still with your parents. In USA, we handle that like 18 years old,
Right.
you work by yourself.
Yeah, I know. That's why I thought I'd clarify that this is a cultural difference. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. And how do you feel if you talk to them? How you feel like if you go to them and just open up your to them and just say something like you would love to find some help as a family?
I think it's just that, you know, other Indian parents, like they would not want to involve someone else here. Like, it's just that, you know, whatever happens at home stays at home. You don't discuss it with someone else outside, because what would happen if they got to know? So yeah, like I wish I could somehow convince them for that. That would just be so brilliant. But sadly, I can try. Like I've thought about it so many times. I've like I can talk to them about, you know, individually, differently. They're good people, but somehow together it's like a dynamite.
Okay.
So thank you very much, Yarizel.
Thank you.
And Leher. First, I would like to clap. Then I will like to ask Leher that what is your comment about your counselor? And then I would like others to please ask or say about the counselor. Then I will speak about the counselor.
Overall, I felt like Yarizal was able to get to it very quickly. Like she picked up on a lot of cues. I just feel like I was also expressing a lot physically. Maybe that could have been picked up on. Like I was sighing in between, or very evidently feeling upset. So some of those things I feel could have been picked up on, but I think the way she walked through things, like it was super, like it was very easy to talk about what was going on. So I really liked that.
Her question framing initially was very good. I will comment upon that. Somebody else would like to say something before I say?
Ma'am, I would like to say that I really liked the way Yarizal was, you know, using her facial expression. She was nodding, she was bending forward. Even on screen, it was looking that she was really connecting with the Leher.
Yes, very right. I also agree with you. Gargi connected with me when she acted as a counselor better than she connected with Leher. Maybe it's long time, maybe she's tired, or I don't know what, but Yarizal had a lot of warmth on her face, which is very important in counseling, as I said it next time. So, but I know that Gargi can do that. Gargi has already demonstrated that to us. So that's a, yes, Yarizal, the best question which you asked was what you want to have a control upon. See, like in my earlier session, I asked that what you will like to talk about first, because when the client is talking. So as I said that when I was demonstrating to you in the last session how to fight your own fears and anxieties, I said only focus on the client. Forget what you think about. And she was actually able to successfully focus on her. And she could take a degree of lead as well. But later, in the end, then I come to whatever you all have said. I have also noted that, Leher. But in the end, she started asking closed-ended questions. Do you live with them? Is that a very relevant question? Besides being this, if I compare this question with the earlier question, what you want to have a control upon, it is a very specific question with a high degree of lead. It is a good probe as well as it is exploration. It's making client aware of herself, right? So the problem is that I live with them or I don't live with them whenever I go. So it was relatively a redundant question. Yarizel must have something in her mind that she asked. She can respond to that as well. But my task is to do an analysis. Again, nothing is wrong. But the point is, am I able to lead my session? Taking it forward. How do I take it forward is the most important thing. So Yarizel, I would like to know, before this also, you had, do you feel safe in the environment? Had you asked, do you feel emotionally safe in that environment? That would have been
what was that again?
emotionally safe.
Mm-hmm.
When you are talking about safety, what kind of safety the counselor is talking about? Because the client is at home. So usually, what kind of unsafe environment is not there? Let us not draw the attention towards those kinds of issues. So she's talking about emotional issues at home. So this would have been all the more a better question. So do you feel emotionally unsafe at home? Instead of asking, see,
the thing is, like, right here, you have to, in the US, you have to take out the physical safety of the person, because if not, you have to handle things like in another way if the person is going to be hurt some way physically from their environment. So you have to remove that, and you have to seek for a little bit of clues about her environment and how intense is the environment, because it's like if she live with them, because right here at 20, 21, 22, maybe 19, 18 years old, you just go to the school and you just leave your parents and you just go visit them. So you have more control if you don't live with them. So if you live with them, the environment's like every day. If you don't live with them, so the environment, you just have a little bit more of control of the feelings, because you can just not go and avoid confront the situation.
I understand that. So this pertains to the cultural context when I talk about the skill of context and difference.
Okay.
I have given you the material on that. Do go through that. What kind of clients and counselors are not comfortable together with each other and how to handle the cultural issues. Leher also had been making a mention of that, how it happens in India. So that's how the session stopped growing a bit because of the cultural gaps with each other. So in general, I told in the last session that anything that can hurt the client should not be done. When I talk of the physical abuse, while my client is consistently talking of the emotional abuse, she's narrating her fears. She said, I'm scared, it feels weird, all those kinds of things she's talking about. So this was a good catch to talk about the emotional safety at home. And then instead of saying, do you feel safe? We could say, do you feel unsafe? Why? The possibility of an open-ended or essay type answer in the other question is a little more. So that's how we frame our questions as well. It's already 8:25. If somebody asks a question, then it's an okay. But otherwise, from my side, I close this practice session right now. But I'm really thankful to you You people have all done really very beautifully. You have picked up quickly, much quickly. I was not happy with my last session. I was thinking that very hurriedly, I was talking about so many of the things, but I could see that today you were able to bring that into your practice. So I'm very happy for what you have done. And I'm thankful to you from the core of my heart for the cooperation which you people have extended for doing this. I hope you are satisfied that you have learned to an extent. I hope so. So with that, I finished the practice and you can come up with any questions in case if you have, please.
Ma'am, would it be possible for you to talk to Leher for 5 minutes?
If we can extend the session, I can try that demonstration. I can, sure, for sure. Wherever I may reach, doesn't matter. So Leher will tell us, can we do that?
We can have our session till 8:40, so that gives us 14 minutes.
Okay.
If that is all right.
Yeah. 14 minutes are more than enough. Because I just have to demonstrate. So I'm a counselor now. I'm assuming. Yes, there is a comment in chat by Dr. Chadha. I think I'm not able to see that. About solar, sitting squarely and everything. Yes, we discussed it all in details in our last session. Solar and now being called as Shobler as well. And other H and V also has been very well followed by my participants working as counselors. That's really great. Thank you, sir. So I am the client now. Sorry, I'm the counselor now. Yes. So, Leher, may I kindly know that what is it really? First, you tell me, is it all clear to you now that how the session is going to proceed, your role and my role?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay,
pretty
so
much.
we can begin, I think. So could you elaborate what has brought you here?
What has brought me here? I've been feeling like myself lately. It's just been so weird. Like I'm finding it hard to relax. Yeah.
Yes.
It's also like it's been overwhelming. It's just lately I don't feel like coming home. I don't like coming home.
Coming home.
I don't. It's just not great at home. Things are not great.
Things are not good at home, Leher?
No.
Things are not good at home?
No, my parents are always at it. They're just moving from one fight to another. Recently, it's been about finances, about buying a car, and not like we're financially unstable. Like my dad's earning well, I'm earning. My sister's gotten a job. It just goes from one thing to the other, but lately it's been so hard. It's just been more than I can handle. I've handled a lot, but this is just too much. I can't do this alone. That's why I'm here, because I'm tired of doing this alone.
Oh, I see. You are now tired and you are not able to handle, but it is about their fights. Fights between parents.
Yeah, I mean, you always, see movies and parents having this great relationship and like this nice family, feeling safe. But it's just me and my sister. We feel like a family, but when you put my parents into the picture, that doesn't feel like a
I
family.
understand. You don't feel like that it is a family. So that's disturbing for you.
Yeah, it is. I mean, for once, I just like some peace at home. Just for once, can it be like a nice family outing? For once, can it just be like a movie without snide comments, or you didn't buy this? This is what I asked for, not that. Just anything trivial, and it just becomes an argument.
Okay, just to know a little more, will you mind telling me that since when these fights have really started happening in the family?
They've just always been there, like ever since I can remember.
It's always
As a child.
because you said that you were able to handle earlier. So were you handling their fights earlier, or you were able to handle yourself better in spite of those fights?
Both, a little bit of both. Like,
that's been great of you.
Thanks for saying that.
That's really been great of you.
Thanks for saying that.
Okay, don't worry. Leher, have you any idea how frequently the parental fights occur? In how many families? Have you ever seen any data?
I have not seen any data. I do assume that it happens like frequently, I'm sure. Like it can't just be my family. I'm sure it happens quite often. But once my friend narrated this incident to me, which made me realize that maybe this is happening too much. So she said that, when my parents fight, they sort of do it in their room, but when they're out, they're kind and nice to each other. There are no snide comments. And that just made me realize this is very different from the home I come from. Like, they're able to fight, but they're still nice to each other. But at my home, it's not that. Yeah.
So it seems their fights have taken a relatively bad shape. But you agree to it that such kind of things happen in almost every family. And
yeah,
there I really want to tell you today that I get many young girls and even boys who come with this complaint. So, but there's one thing very good, that you have a good relationship with your sisters. And she feels like a family with you.
She does.
That's great. Huh?
She does.
That's really great. So I think there can be many ways to handle it. You'll have to choose your own ways. Maybe we can participate and handle their fights by clarifying their roles to each other. Or maybe to begin with, we can just cripple ourselves from what is happening between them. Or if you choose something else, you would like to, I would like to move the way you want to move here.
I think first I want to work a little on myself. Like,
that's great. Okay. It's very clear to me now. Sure.
Yeah, I want to start feeling more relaxed, because I know that right now I can't control their fight and I'm not in the mind space to get it in with them. I just want to start feeling
begin
better.
with being relaxed.
Yes, absolutely.
So, I think, Leher, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting in between because the time is not there. Otherwise, I'm supposed to listen. So, Leher, to begin with, I think I can give you a very small 2-minute session of relaxation here. You can begin with that. And please do practice that. And in the next session, I would like you to bring a little bit of record of what happened when you went home. So your thought process, the events, so that we can pinpoint that where we need to work.
Sure, I can do that.
Will that
I can do that.
Okay. I think we can practice centering. So just follow me, okay? Just follow me. I'll do it once and you also do it once only. Just have a look at me first, then I'll explain the procedure to you. So you notice I have taken a deep breath, and then when I was exhaling, I inhaled through my nose and exhaled through my mouth, but I brought a smile on my face.
Yeah, I did see. Yeah.
You can add to it, all tension is going out. This is a modified version of centering. So please do that. Please do that. Yee. A little more smile, please. One more. Once more. Yeah, that was great. Thank you. This was a good one. Anything else you would like to talk in particular before I close the session for the day, Leher?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay.
That exercise,
Yeah, that was my
Help.
next question. How did you feel about it? That's great. That's great.
I can feel myself smiling. So yeah, that's
That's
good.
great. That's what we have to do now. So we will really learn how to live with our own miseries. That's the life, you know. Great. You've been a good cooperative client. So what about our next appointment? I think you can talk to my secretary, and as per your suitability, whatever slots are there, you may take one from her.
Yeah, that's
And don't
good
forget
to
to
know.
do your homework.
Okay.
2 homeworks about the thought recording, event recording, and second one is practicing this every day, morning, evening, both of the times.
Sounds good. So just
Try and
to
stay with that.
understand about the homework, you said I have to get home and keep a thought
pardon?
record. I have to
What?
get home and keep a record of
Yes,
the
yes.
situations and the
Yes.
events that happen,
Yes.
right?
Maybe not for every day, but maybe for 2 or 3 days. That
Okay.
what happened, what really happened, so that we can explore it deeply. That what is it which is exactly hurting you? Some specific causes we need to find out.
Okay. Okay, I can do that.
All right. Bye bye. Nice
Okay,
meeting
bye.
you.
It was
See
nice
you.
meeting you
Bye.
too. Thank you. Bye.
So I hope we could reach somewhere. Am I able to demonstrate?
Yes,
Am I
ma'am. I
clear?
would like to clap for you.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so
Ma'am,
much. Thank
I
you,
would also
everyone.
like to say that Leher enacted the client very well.
Yeah, yes, we should really have a good clap for her.
Thank you.
Big round of applause for her.
It was
And I
actually
have
my
patience.
I
I appreciate the patience, you know, acting thrice and acting differently automatically every time.
Ma'am, I have a small question over
Yes,
here,
please.
just to clarify. You know, at the end, you said we should learn to live with our own miseries. Like, found that like a little negative, ma'am.
No, I don't find it negative, because miseries are a integral part of our life. Happiness is an attitude.
Right.
It is an attitude. And last time, if you had noted my last slide, the motto is accept. Accept,
Yeah.
live, let live, and have a gratitude. That's the only motto
Fantastic.
to good life. That's what is the last slide of every presentation of mine.
Great.
it was a
I
really
think now
fun
time
session.
is also
Yeah.
over.
Thank you
It's
so
already
much.
8:59.
Right.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
It was
I
really
enjoyed
helpful.
because you cooperated.
We also enjoyed your session.
Yeah.
Thank
This was really nice.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you.
We learned
Ma'am,
a
can I
lot.
also please add something?
Yeah, please.
I'd like to really give a huge round of applause for Leher. Every single time she demonstrated, it looked very natural.
I
Natural.
join you.
Yes.
Yes.
It looked like
I join you.
it didn't
I
look like a
join you.
demonstration for us, but at one point in time, I started believing that, okay, she's really going through something like that.
Yes.
So, I mean,
That's
And
right.
she did that thrice, so
That was
that's
hard,
really
actually.
commendable. Yeah, I'm
Yes.
sure.
I really join you completely. Fully, I endorse what you have said about Leher.
Right.
Thank you.
So, anyways, good one, Leher.
Oh, thanks.
Good.
So, all right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the
Bye-bye.
participation
Bye-bye.
and being active in the participation. See you all again in the next session.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, next Saturday.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Bye,
ma'am.
bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Bye.
Take
Good
good
night.
care. Take good care. All right.
Bye.
Keep smiling. Bye bye.